What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor and Lorraine. Welcome back to another week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit chat about everything to do with film for the first half of the episode, and then the second half is weird news. We'll get to that. Shaun, I'm joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Going great, Conor. Good to talk to you today. We had a nice little chat before this, just like friends.
We were just hanging out. But I was telling Shaun that he should watch the TV show The Traitors, if anyone has seen that.
Apparently very good. I've heard good things.
And it's just a psychological warfare that I'm into.
Okay, elaborate on that.
I just like seeing people suffer, Shaun.
Of course, and that's why Shaun Solves is a segment that we have.
If this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything. You can chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars on Spotify, a like, a share, a follow. Any way you can support the show would be absolutely great. We have a Patreon where we do extra content and extra movie reviews and a whole bunch of extra exclusive stuff over there. If you want to head on over, the links to all that stuff is down below and all of our socials. But Shaun, as I mentioned, movie news. First maybe 45 minutes of the show. What happens after that?
After that, we go into weird news, which is where you take all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. You read them all out to me, a man who has been too busy not watching The Traitors to look at any weird news.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it was tough to tear myself away to do this week's episode.
Are you sponsored by The Traitors or something?
Claudia Winkleman has given me €10 to talk about it.
But I've got all these mattresses I need to sell.
So imagine if that was our only sponsorship ever. Like a TV show on the BBC.
Day one, massive TV show. That's all I'll accept.
So Shaun, I felt like, because as I said, we're going to be talking all the week's movie news, but there was only really one place to start this week, and that was with a trailer that occurred. So we're going to get straight into it. I think this was the trailer that everyone was kind of talking about. Shaun, Daredevil Born Again. We have had...
I thought you were going to do a rug pull on me, and it was like Despicable Me 7 or something.
No, well, there was an Until Dawn trailer, but we don't have to talk about that. But I have news about how that's going to work, which I'm going to ask your opinion on. But Daredevil Born Again, this is our first little trailer. So if you didn't know, a few years ago, like a decade ago, there was a Netflix show called Daredevil. And
decade?
It was 2014, Shaun.
Oh, I need a moment. Oh, that hurts.
Actually, wait a minute, like 2012. When the fuck?
Shut up.
So, if anyone doesn't know, Charlie Cox, he played Daredevil, Matt Murdock. He was very good in the role, and Daredevil as a show was very critically acclaimed. It went 3 seasons, super good. Then vanished. Marvel get the rights to the show, and they're like, we want to do a Disney Plus show. Then they're going to do their own Daredevil TV series, but the first time they tried it, there was lots of pushback because they got rid of everybody who was in the original show other than Charlie Cox.
Yes, and apparently the show and the writing itself was just not very good.
Which is a hindrance to making a good show. So
then they rewrote, reshot and re-edited basically the whole thing.
They redid everything with a showrunner, yes. And so they got all the people back in from the first season from the first series. And so now you have Vincent D'Onofrio and you have everybody coming back. And I mean, Shaun, this is our first trailer. What were you expecting for this? Is this something you were looking for?
I wasn't sure on tone as to what it would be, because the last time we saw Daredevil in the MCU was in She-Hulk, and there were some good fights and it was more laughy and jokey. But if I can just sum up this trailer in one particular shot, it's that you see a man's arm break and blood pour out through a white shirt, which I think is pretty rad.
It's super violent, and I think what they've done here is, well, I mean, the first time around was also fairly fucking violent. I mean, season 1 has that guy putting his head through the spike rather than saying Wilson Fisk's name.
The car door.
It's not, Shaun, we always bring up the car door, but Fisk getting that guy's head in the car door is the best scene.
Car door actually rattled me to the point that I was watching it with my now fiance, and we ended up being like, we might just take a minute after that episode.
Because up until that point, Vincent D'Onofrio is killing it, but he's like nice Fisk. He's like calm, cool, calm, and collected Fisk, and that's the first time he actually reveals, oh no, he's going to do that to somebody with a car door. Yeah.
This is what he's like, and that's his baseline state.
Well, as of right now, apparently, according to the trailer, we see that Fisk is now mayor of New York City, which I think is always a cool and interesting concept of the hero's big bad is the mayor, Lex Luthor's the president is the other one that I'm thinking of.
It often changes hands between Fisk and Norman Osborn as to who's mayor of New York.
Who's voting in New York?
Look, it's a different time.
Maybe I like the misery. You know what I mean?
Look, they get results. You can say that about them.
They're like, go from Rudy Giuliani. And they're like, fucking Harry Osborn. Get in there.
a less bad person. Yeah, go on.
So, I mean, you have also Nelson and Murdoch and Karen Page. Everyone is back in this. This is our first introduction to all them.
I'm worried for Foggy in this.
I mean, I think Foggy is counted as minutes of the series.
We see Foggy in approximately 2 shots in this entire trailer.
They do like the 3 of them walking down the street shot.
Yeah, and when Matt Murdock says the reason he stopped being a vigilante is that a line was crossed, I think Foggy got fucking iced.
So, yeah, I think what'll happen... I have absolutely no idea, but my theory is that we see that Daredevil kills somebody. Why does he kill somebody? Foggy's going to get got.
Yeah, but who would he kill? Because we had Bullseye at the end of the third season, but they're not killing Bullseye day one of the new Daredevil series.
I think Bullseye, by the way, in season 3 is great. That guy who plays him is so evil.
Just menacing.
Yeah, like. just a shithouse. And I really like that. So, yeah, I can see him killing somebody, killing Foggy. If Karen Page dies, I think I wouldn't kill Deborah Ann Wool's character. For the sole reason that I think she brings a lot of heart, whereas Foggy's a lot more expendable. But then, the opposite of that is that's the reason why you would kill Karen Page and keep Foggy around.
Well, this is the thing, is that... But like, Foggy is a moral compass in a lot of ways, in a lot of Daredevil stories. And like, a lot of the good that Matt does is because... Foggy's just a good person. And Matt fights for good people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the representation of that. Foggy would be like killing Foggy would be like killing Uncle Ben.
But then you gotta kill Foggy.
Sorry. Okay, let me think. Killing Foggy would be like killing MJ.
Right. So it's a tough one. Maybe they don't kill either of them. Look, maybe Matt just kills
I think
somebody.
Foggy's fucking dead, I will say. I just want to go out on a limb here.
We're guaranteeing that lad's dead. But
yeah, look, they made a whole series without him.
They made a whole series without the 2 of them, and now suddenly they're back for a trailer. I'm counting maybe, they're not going to last too long.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we get Foggy dead episode 1. Or no, maybe the line was crossed. That's revealed in episode 1, and then over the next few there's flashbacks. I think so. Matt kills somebody. That's the reason he gives up. He leaves the whole superhero stuff behind him. He gets dragged in for one last go, because there's some bad people around. Some shit's going down. They need Daredevil to come back. We also see the Punisher in this. So Punisher's going to be in this series. I think that's a really good one. I think that worked really well with a Matt Murdock who's down on his luck and hates himself. There's that scene where he's holding him up against the lockers and he's like, oh, can you Frank, will you put down the hatchet? And I just wanted him to be red. Is that, like, it's I thought that'd be great.
Because I think, like, John Bernthal is obviously playing Frank Castle or the Punisher. Like, I think he's an amazing cast as that character. I think Charlie Cox is amazing in his role. I think the 2 of them, like, the star of season 2 gets a lot of shit, right? But the star of season 2, that whole episode of them on that rooftop is... So I think that might be top 2 episodes of that show ever.
Oh, and it sums up both characters so well.
And they completely disagree, but like you completely understand where both of them are coming from. And
depending on the day, you could agree with either of those men.
Yeah, and so I think a Daredevil who's more down in his luck, a Daredevil who doesn't really believe in himself anymore, I think he works a lot better. I think you get a lot more drama with him kind of talking to Frank Castle, because Frank Castle's never going to change. If we know anything about the Punisher, he's just always going to be like, we should kill everyone.
Yeah, he's a very good foil for Daredevil. Of just like, he's the other opinion. He's literally the devil's advocate,
of course.
Of like, because Matt will sometimes kill if like it like a net evens out. Like if someone's about to die, he'll kill the person that's about to kill that person. And he's like, it's a net zero in the universe. We also see Muse in this trailer, and Muse is fucked.
What's the deal with Muse? I actually have no... That's the one with the red eyes, or the white and then the red.
The white, and the mask with like the black tears on it.
Yeah.
So Muse is a serial killer, turns their victims into like weird art pieces and stuff like that.
Oh lordy!
But it's like it's never revealed how. But they have the powers that they absorb. They don't emit sensory information. So you can't see, hear, smell, touch, taste them.
Do you think they'll go that way, or do you think regular person who's just a bit crazy?
I think they'll probably go regular person who's just a bit crazy, because otherwise, like Daredevil is basically the only one that can fight them, because Daredevil's senses are so heightened that even that doesn't combat it. But it would... I just imagine Daredevil going to fuck up Muse and getting punched.
I assume,
like getting just a random punch in the face.
I assume what will happen is that the suit that they're wearing stops them emitting any smell or
something like that.
You can't. Yes, it stops something. So there's an outfit that they're wearing that stops those senses, which of course fucks with Matt Murdock, because he can't then do anything.
Yeah, like any time that Matt Murdock can't hear something or can't smell something, it's always an interesting story. I think there was a story one time where he tasted the air, and like it was this person was covered in blood or something like that, and he tasted blood and then he could sense them. It was a weird kind of thing. But I want them to go full, he can't detect Muse. And so he has to figure, and he maybe needs to team up with the Punisher.
And I also, in my head, what you do is you have him do the retirement thing. Muse is killing people. When he does come back out of retirement, maybe Muse is the first person that he encounters, because he's rusty shot. He's out of practice as well. So then when there's the addition of like the senses being down, he's out of practice. He gets completely fucked up, which is why he needs Frank Castle.
Yes. I will say, Muse also fucking loves the Punisher. Muse is like, no, the Punisher's great. The Punisher, of course,
everyone loves the Punisher. Anyone who's not
love the Punisher.
All the villains love the Punisher. As long as he's not blowing you up, you're like, yeah, fair play to you, Frank.
But I could see that being like Fisk being, hey, Muse loves the Punisher. They're both in it together, and then Daredevil has to save the Punisher or something like that, you know?
Yes.
It's just nice being back with these characters, man.
You know what? Look, if it's not as good, right, and there's a real chance, and I mean, you can definitely see the difference in terms of even how it's shot in comparison to like some of the shots that we've seen in this trailer compared to the Netflix show. That's absolutely fine. It's going to get Marvel... The Marvel...
it's going to get the Marvel sheen over
The Marvel sheen is the word I was looking for. Yeah, so that's fine. If it's not as good, it can't be any worse than the back end of season 2, is what I would say. So even if it's grand, because 1 and 3 are so good that you can kind of just... And 1, 3 and the first 5 episodes of 2 are like so good and so strong that you're kind of like, okay... if this comes out, we still have that, so it's absolutely fine. And all these characters are so good, and all the people who played them so well that, as you said, it's just nice to be back in this world.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many episodes this new season is going to be.
I actually don't know. I'm probably 8, maybe 8 or 10.
18 episodes.
What? Fuck off.
Apparently.
Is that the most episodes ever?
Oh, hang on. That was in development at 2022 Comic Con.
Right. It's been dwindled down to 3 since then.
How many episodes are apparently it's 18 episodes.
We have no information to disregard that, so we're going to go with 18.
Or Discussing Film on Twitter, who I have no reason to doubt, has said it's 9 episodes long. But it might be split into 2 seasons.
I suppose that makes more sense. Do 9 and 9 seems like that seems more like along with the model that they're doing. Sean,
but I'll take 9 over 6. Sorry.
Oh, 100%. My question, Sean, is this going to be good? With no knowledge and no other information other than the trailer. Yeah, I want you to make a bold prediction of pure vibes.
It's going to be good. Who knows?
You've heard it here first, folks.
Check back on this.
He said the same thing about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You said the villains in that are going to be absolutely amazing, is what you said to me.
No, I didn't. I said that about Captain or Miss Marvel.
You did, yes. So, Sean, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is, I'm going to combine 2 pieces of news into one because they're basically the same. New Gremlins and Goonies movies are in development.
There's a bang of desperation of this kind of stuff now.
What are you talking about, Sean? This is obviously, people have been crying out for a Gremlins and a Goonies movie.
Goonies is a perfect movie.
Just do it and then leave it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just pirates. It's class.
According to Deadline, Warner Brothers is developing a new Gremlins movie with Christopher Columbus and is working on a Goonies treatment at the same time. So we're getting both of them. So obviously we've had some The Matrix now has come back. We've had all of I'm trying to think of all the other ones. Every movie that's ever happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah, imagine a movie. And then
imagine a movie that came out recently. That's a new one from the 80s and 90s.
Zoolander 2. A Dumb and Dumber 2.
I mean, 2 months ago we had Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting a new Gremlins. I suppose.
But it's just going to be bad. It's going to be the equivalent of Ghostbusters.
But Gremlins originally wasn't great. It's over the time.
And it's like you look back on it with nostalgia. People like Gremlins because of childhood nostalgia.
Yeah.
They like the first Gremlins.
Yeah.
So unless you could recreate that exact thing perfectly.
Unless you can
Gremlins are relevant because there's movies still being made. They know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, then we have that along with the Goonies. The Goonies thing, I think, is... I can see a Gremlins thing because with a horror movie, I always find that... Or like one of those kind of movies is that they're much more likely to get put back into production. And you can just kind of... Name any horror movie, they normally have 7 or 8 of them. One of them does just fucking everyone pile through the door. We just keep making them.
They're cheap to make.
And they make a lot of money, and that's absolutely fine. The Goonies one, this is the most, what movie did I like when I was younger? Can we bring that back in a boardroom?
And also, Ke Huy Quan is fucking killing it in Hollywood at the minute.
They have him locked in, and they're like, right, he's now massive again. So for the last few years, I'd say the minute that the minute Everything Everywhere All at Once blew up, somebody at Warner Bros was like, lads, get him on the fucking phone. We have a Goonies 2 lined up.
But Goonies, Gremlins, whatever, I don't really care about Gremlins. But Goonies is great. Why? Goonies 2 is Stranger Things. is what, like, because you're just there, because it's about vibes and like weird memories of a time when you first watched it. That's
like,
why people like that movie.
Goonies 2 is just like It Chapter 2, but without the clown.
Yeah, it's just old. It's just 50-year-old men at this point, just walking around.
Is it their kids? I assume it's their kids who are going to get into scrapes. You bring Sean Astin back, he'll do it. Yeah,
I guess. But, like, what's the name of the fucking One-Eyed Willie at the end?
Oh, fuck. I've never been asked that question.
Yeah, sorry. It's Goonies. What's it? Sloth. Has Sloth just been living with Chunk for fucking 40 years?
Yeah, of course. Let's delve into that.
I just think it's pathetic that you have no other ideas.
It's classic Warner Brothers. It's the news that we hear all the time. It's something that we all love to know. Just think of a movie that you like. There's a Blue Sky that they released. They were like, oh, we're doing a new Lord of the Rings thing. And we did I'm going to say we, but I just meant like the general vibe was
I signed off on it.
They are picking they're picking movie ideas from what DVDs and videos do they have in their house that they just kind of like go and check the shelf, and they're like, oh, that hasn't been done in like 25 years. Yeah, cool, we'll do that.
Yeah. People probably know it but don't remember it all that well. Yeah,
I remember when I was 10, I liked that movie. Yeah, let's do that one.
Do you know the only Ghostbusters movie I've seen start to finish is Frozen Empire?
Which one is that?
Like, it's the one. It's the second one with Paul Rudd in it.
So you missed 1, 2, and 2016.
Yeah, and
first Paul Rudd.
2021. So first Paul Rudd. Ghostbusters.
So really,
Afterlife.
you came in blind then.
I came in real blind, and there was a load of callbacks to the other movies that I just didn't get.
Just over your head.
Yeah, it was just like, it's like, oh, Bill Murray's saying some weird shit, I guess.
Oh, Bill Murray's in this. All right.
Oh, class.
Was he in any of the other ones? What's the story?
Probably not, no.
Okay, Sean, I'm going to move on because I have my favourite headline of the year so far. Now I know it's early, but I think it's a strong contender for the best headline of the year. Director blames women, not Ezra Miller, for why the Flash flopped.
Wow. What the fuck? Is that
now,
fucking
a few
Andy
weeks ago,
Sony,
the Sony CEO, if you remember, he came out and was like, people don't like Madam Web and Kraven because they're dumb. Those movies are so good. And he kind of put it back on us.
The press, like, negatively influenced people and stuff like that.
I think he kind of put it back onto everyone. It was like, it's your fault that you don't like the movies that we're making, instead of being like, hey, sorry, we made some bad movies. But then Andy Muschietti he was the director of The Flash. He's also down to do the next Batman movie in the DC EU.
I'll be honest, I'm making a bold claim. I think Pattinson's getting folded in and Andy Muschietti is out. I think those talks are going on at the minute, and he's trying to salvage some kind of reputation.
No, maybe it might be miscommunicated, but the way he said it was just super funny. He was just, he was like, apart from all the other reasons, it wasn't a movie that appealed to the 4 quadrants. It failed at that. When you spend $200 million making a movie, Warner Brothers wants to bring even your grandmother to the theatres. And I found out in private conversations that a lot of people just don't care about the Flash as a character, particularly the 2 female quadrants. So apparently women over 25 and women under 25 hate the Flash, was his reasoning.
I would like to look up viewing statistics for CW's The Flash, because I know so many ladies who fucking love that show.
Actually, that's a good point. In terms of the breakdown from the CW, I assume like that series skewed towards both.
CW as a network generally skewed. There was a more, again, I looked this up in like 2014 or some shit. It skewed a bit more female than you would expect. Just based on the programming.
But I would assume the breakdown is like 52-48 or 54-46 or whatever. Like, it's not like,
because it's massive. A major network, so It's almost like movies have a broad network that they could access.
I love that you do a Flash movie with Ezra Miller and you're like, no, it is them who is wrong, right? Ezra's grand. Ezra's absolutely perfect in the role.
Ezra, they've done nothing wrong as far as we're concerned.
We did a weird bendy Ezra. It was so good.
There was a borderline siege at one point involving Ezra. That didn't play into the film at all.
He beat up the whole island of Hawaii, or they beat up the whole island of Hawaii at one stage. It was all going well.
It was also the second to last film in a franchise that had been dying for a couple of years, and
I think at certain point,
quality.
By the way, the 4 quadrants are men over 25, men under 25, women over 25, and women under 25. So that's everyone. And Andy says it didn't appeal to the 4 quadrants, so everyone.
What about me, a weird little dude in the centre there? Just a 28 doing whatever he wants.
You're men over 25.
Look, you can't pin me down.
I mean, I love that strategy. To be like, you do like a $200 million Flash movie, and then after it comes out, people don't fucking even like the Flash. Sure, should I do that going in? Fuck's sake.
We've said it a bajillion fucking times on this show. If Captain America can work, anything can work.
Yes. And also, I would go so far as to say, I think the Flash is kind of popular as a character.
Yeah. Loads of people love The Flash.
And people watched that CW show until season 8, even though it was terrible after season 3, and they stuck with it.
And it wasn't great in season 2, let's be honest.
1 was strong. I'll give him 1. That was good.
1 was strong.
But
when he popped up in the Arrowverse, that was nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little mix. But then Arrow fell off a cliff near after. Around episode 10, season 3, he gets killed by Ra's al Ghul. Falls off a cliff after that, literally and metaphorically.
100%, yeah. That's when they decided to make Oliver Queen Bruce Wayne just entirely.
And then simultaneously, The Flash, I felt like was okay, but like by season 4, I mean, it was sludge. It was not great.
But that was peak saturation as well, of just like you had like Legends of Tomorrow and
my favourite thing about the Flash TV show was that he always got to the first episode of every season was the bad guy was faster than him by like a second, and then he would get punched and he was always shocked, but the other guy was faster.
It's like I used to work with a lady and we would talk about the Flash and Arrow and stuff. And she was ahead of me, and she was like, and there's this guy who's faster than the Flash. And I was like, someone's faster than the Flash.
You're like, you could have been talking about any season. Which season are you talking about?
Fucking Cesaro or whatever his name is. Barry Allen, but bad and weird looking. Whatever his name was.
The Reverse Flash?
No, not the Reverse Flash, the other one.
The other one, yeah.
Sab. Hang on, I'm going to fucking find this. The Flash. Savatar.
Well done. I like you said Sava.
I just was, what is this? He's been erased from existence. Cool.
But look, we're saying all this in a jokey way, but the Flash TV series was quite popular even though it was bad, which implies to me that if you do a good Flash movie, there's an audience there that will go see it.
Quality is not necessarily indicative of audience.
Your movie also had Michael Keaton's Batman in it, just if we remember, and he would be quite popular as well.
People like him.
It also had Ben Affleck's Batman.
It also had George Clooney's Batman in it.
In all of them. What more do you want?
Every Batman.
At some point, we have to think to ourselves, it might be Ezra. Now, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but some stage, we have to say, well, maybe people just weren't fond of Ezra fighting the whole island and being arrested multiple times.
What's Ezra up to now? We probably don't have time for this. I was going to scroll to filmography.
What's he up to? What's it?
I'll be honest, nothing upcoming.
I assume Ezra has been kind of moved away from the old movies for a little bit.
Yeah, which might be a good thing, do you know?
Yeah. Because you kind of have to go to jail for a little bit, I think, for all the crimes.
Oh, really? burglary charge. Not convicted of a criminal offence.
So he's technically they're innocent.
I mean, look, we'll keep you updated.
It's a legal courtroom. Also, the headline, director blames women, not Ezra Miller, for why the Flash flopped, I think is just perfect. I don't know how you can prove on that. Like, it's clearly the women's fault.
Look, Conor, we love women, okay? But sometimes...
At this point, Andy, I think, is speaking sense. Guys.
Look, why'd you let the Flash flop, ladies?
Ladies, please, go see the Flash. For God's sake. Spotify's going to ask down below what you thought. But I want everyone, if you're a lady, make a message and say sorry for not going to see the Flash if you didn't go see it. It's just not. It was actually kind of rude, to be honest.
We'll pass all of those along to Andy.
I'll give Andy a ring later on. I'll say you were dead right. The women let you down, lad. Don't worry about us boys, the crew, the lads. We went to see it. Oh, but I've just a really quick question before we ask this. Shaun, did you go watch The Flash in cinemas?
No, I didn't. I bought it for my friend as a joke on DVD, and they still haven't opened it. It was on sale.
So Shaun has kind of let the other side down as well, actually. The four quadrants are not looking good.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of the quadrants.
Okay, Shaun, we're going to move on. Our next piece of news, Until Dawn. We actually got a trailer for the Until Dawn movie last week. So, Shaun, if anyone doesn't know what Until Dawn is, do you want to kind of fill people in?
Until Dawn was a PS4 horror survival choose your own adventure game.
Yeah,
that was made, and it sold itself on. It had like big names. It had like Rami Malek and Hayden Panettiere and stuff like that. And it sold itself on. It had really good facial capture and very realistic character models, and told a good little cabin in the woods style horror story. And it was very cinematic. I will say
it was very, very cinematic, and it was also just a really interesting game in terms of that, like the choices that you make. So you start off with all 8 people. They're in a horror movie, and the choices that you make for each one of them may lead you to lose people along the way, like depending on how you react to situations, the ways you interact with people. So like certain times, if you watch any playthrough online, it's completely different for everyone of who survives and who doesn't survive.
There's like 20 endings depending on who you save and who you don't save.
You could lose literally everybody. Like if you play it terribly, all of them will die. Or if you play it amazingly, all 8 of them will survive. And you get to the end and everybody's still there. So it's completely up to you. As you said, very, very cinematic. So they've been wanting to make this a movie for the last little while, and Sony, they've had a few setbacks in the last few years.
They've been pumping money into shit Spider-Man villains.
That's right, that was our fault, if you remember correctly. We didn't go see it. But David F. Sandberg, who did Shazam, he will be directing the upcoming horror film, and the first look kind of gives us an interesting look at it. But what is going to be interesting about the movie is that it's not going to, because you can't do a movie that has multiple endings, if that makes sense. Like,
unless you're talking about the movie Clue.
I suppose yes, but you can't. Like, you can't have this movie and then just be like, okay, well, things happen, because everyone played the game completely differently. So the mechanic that they're going to be using in the movie is that people can actually start again. So if they don't survive, it's kind of like they restart the day again. So like they go through the day, and if they die, then they go back to the start, and they have to keep doing it until they survive.
So the characters are going through this, not the audience.
Absolutely, yes. So the characters are like, we'll have to.
It's a Groundhog Day,
basically. So they start off. They're in the horror movie. Someone's going to get butchered within like 5 minutes, and then they reset to the very start of the day, and then they have to do things differently.
Interesting. That's a decent little premise for a horror movie.
I think how you do it is like, you only have 8 attempts or something.
Yeah. But how do you convey that to the characters and the audience?
Yeah.
Because the urgency with Until Dawn comes with, like, you're playing this all the way through. Like, you can reload and stuff like that. But it's like, no, these are the choices you make and you have to deal with it. And there's am I thinking of the right game here? I might be thinking of another Life is Strange, I think it's called. But, like, it's this will have consequences pops up in the screen and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've made a choice.
But it can also be like really small things that you do earlier on, and you can kind of see actually how the characters feel about each other. So like if you treat one character really badly, later on there might be a situation where they have to catch that character, but if they've been treated like shit, they'll just like not try as hard and just let them drop.
Did you pick up the flashlight or did you just run out of the house and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, being that it's Until Dawn, and no spoilers, but full spoilers for Until Dawn, we're just getting a Wendigo horror film.
Wendigo horror film, Shaun.
You know, love Wendigos. They're fucking rad. They're such a good piece of mythology.
If people don't know what a Wendigo is, Shaun, what are they?
Oh, it's like a Native American spirit that, it's like if you succumb to cannibalism, and there's a Wendigo spirit in a place, it can possess you, and then you then become a Wendigo. Yeah,
and you kind of live in the mountains normally. Normally it's like in a snowy environment.
You go around just killing people.
Yeah.
Just taking vengeance for the fact that you had to cannibalise yourself.
I think a lot of people... I was going to say, a lot of fans of the game might not be happy that it is different, but simultaneously, I mean, how else do you do it? There's a better
way to do it.
Go on.
There's a very set story in Until Dawn. Like, there's actual canon of there was these miners who were trapped in an accent, eventually succumbed to cannibalism, and the Wendigo overtook them.
Right.
Tell that story in a film. Everyone's happy.
But who wins there? The Wendigos.
The Wendigos win. The Wendigos always win.
No. You're telling the movie from the perspective of the Wendigo.
Yeah, the true hero.
So your movie idea, and you're like, this is much better, is you get a load of lads to go into a mine, eventually starve so much that they begin to eat each other, and then turn into big monsters, and then the word Finn comes up on the screen in white writing on a black background, and we call it a day.
No, that would be silly, Connor. I want the end of the movie, the Wendigo turns its head and looks at the camera,
and
then leaps, and then it cuts to black.
And then Finn.
Wow,
what a great movie. We watched a load of lads starve to death.
They're not they're eating each other. They're full for a while. I want the 127 hours, but they're never saved. Like, they're just dying. Sometimes people die. I don't know what to tell you.
This is the worst movie of all time.
It's an exploration of the human condition.
So
it's like that rugby team that crashed in the mountains.
Yeah, but like you can't have
people are happy for them. People like that film.
So you just literally want a movie where we sit down in a cinema, a load of popcorn, and we watch a load of miners go from jeez, we'll definitely get out to it's not looking good. Look, we'll sleep here for the night, will we? And then, like, just a Big Brother style camera in the corner of them slowly going insane.
Yeah, but and look, I don't mean to tell Hollywood how to do its job.
Oh, well, certainly, please.
But I want to cast Armie Hammer as one of the miners. And just make it really on the nose.
It's his big break back.
Yeah, but he can only do it if he promises never to actually eat someone. He has to promise.
Now, you have to promise us, right? Pinky promised me right now you're not going to eat any of those other actors. Now, we're going to lock you in there, for real. And
do you think it's because he's named after two types of flesh that he eats people?
I think that's it. That was the main reason. He said that. I think he's like, the only reason I'm doing this is because of my name. If my name was Jack Smith, wouldn't have eaten anybody.
Whereas now I'm just I'm all arms and hands.
I have to, otherwise I look silly.
So you practice law?
Yes. Yeah.
And cons, actually.
I do crimes as a lawyer, of course. So, Shaun, I'm going to finish off. By the way, that movie will hopefully never happen. But Until Dawn got a trailer, so go watch that if you're interested and see how it looks. Shaun, Deadpool and Wolverine reportedly expected to feature in the next 2 Avengers sequels.
Which Wolverine are we talking?
That's an interesting point, because the news is that they reportedly will be, they're insisting that Deadpool and Wolverine will be playing an important part in the MCU's future.
Deadpool should not play an important part. That's for sure.
I think they really like how Wolverine and Deadpool worked earlier on this year. They want to get them involved. I see this and I'm like, oh lads, what are we doing here? But
yeah,
people might like it though, Shaun. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I think that movie had its moments. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means. I think it's very much made as the third Deadpool movie for people that like the first 2 well enough. I think they're going to fall into the trap of leaning heavily on Wolverine again, because did you see the new Captain America trailer? They fully say adamantium could change the world or something
Yeah.
And it's like, we're doing adamantium
so
again.
They're going to melt Hugh Jackman down and then take his bones.
Yeah. He's going to be... He'll up until Secret Wars, he's going to be Wolverine. And then we'll have to recast Wolverine. And then maybe we'll get other mutants.
So, I mean, it's going to be Doomsday, Secret Wars. It makes sense to drag the 2 of them in. Big names, you can kind of throw them in there. It's not, but it's one of those where, I think the first initial instinct is always Deadpool shouldn't be a big part of those teams.
Do you know what I was thinking the other day? Is in terms of like Secret Wars, where you want multiversal versions of, and like people to look at the screen and go, wow, they're in this film.
Yeah.
We've already did Multiverse of Madness and killed like 6 major multiversal characters.
Yeah,
and like
left?
big ones. Like
who is left that you could bring and be like, and people are like, oh man, I didn't know that these were in it. Oh shit.
McAvoy and Fassbender, I suppose, could come in.
I suppose, but like, are they, I don't know if they have... I think you can go bigger. Like, I don't think there's any big ones left.
Halle Berry's Storm, I guess.
But if you have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, though, like,
yeah, who's bigger than that?
There's nobody bigger on that X-Men team other than him.
James Marsden Cyclops, excuse
Sorry,
me.
Marsden and Cyclops. That is true. The biggest geek in those movies of all time.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse, he can come back.
You could bring back Oscar's Apocalypse. Yeah, that's true. I think we're kind of out of people to bring back.
Yeah, no, it's not. Maybe some of the younger cast, but they're not like the best versions. Like, they brought back Kelsey Grammer Beast already.
Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. Yeah,
I prefer Rebecca Romaine's Mystique.
Oh yeah, well of course, but I'm just thinking of like a character who is in those movies that is a big star that you could bring back.
Was there anyone who's in there just as they were just famous and they were a mutant for 2 minutes?
Technically Brad Pitt was in Deadpool 2.
That's true. Vanisher. Vanisher could work.
Bring back Brad. I don't know. It's very hard. RDJ is coming back as a fucking Doom. So, like, there's no rules anymore.
We've talked about this and it makes me sad.
Okay, right. I think we should leave movie news this week, Shaun. I'm fascinated. Deadpool, Wolverine, they probably will be in the next few movies.
Yeah, almost guaranteed. It's going to be Deadpool, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Iron Man Doom front and centre, pretty much.
I think so, yeah. So, Shaun, it's time to move in to some weird news. What a jingle. Just, it gets better every week.
Oh, thanks, man. I didn't play it this time.
Imagine. That would be such a good bit.
I fucked myself last week, though, because we made a joke about, we'll play it backwards. And I was like, fuck it.
How did it sound backwards? Good or
not great?
Good?
Unsettling, I would say.
Almost so bad it might put some people off.
Yeah. I put it in though. You know.
No, put it again this week, lad. Don't you fucking worry about it.
No, Conor, we don't have to.
It's a bit of Stockholm syndrome. The backwards playing now.
Yeah,
yes, what a great day. Right. So, Shaun, this is weird news, as we kind of explained, but if you want to explain it slightly again, what is this?
Oh, you have spent the week gathering all the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man too busy flubbing W's to look at any weird news.
Flubbing W's. Shaun, there's only one place I want to start this week, and that is with our... I'm going to say our most popular segment of weird news.
Going home early?
If we're going off of the top 10 weird news stories of the year, there was one segment that stood out. There was one segment that really caught the eye, and that was the humble Shaun Solves.
I'm not proud of the things I say on Shaun Solves, but I do get results.
So if anyone doesn't know, Shaun is the smartest person, certainly on his end of the microphone at this exact moment, right? So,
right. Okay, I'll take that.
So what happens is, every now and then, I find an agony aunt question that was sent in to somewhere else on the internet.
A reputable advice source.
Smarter people who know what they're talking about. And I think, useless. They don't know what they're saying. And I bring Shaun, the smartest person named Shaun in his house currently, I bring him the problem. And I say, Shaun, you're the person to solve this. And so Shaun offers his advice, and ultimately, I would say solves the problem 10 out of 10 times.
I solved the original problem. Mm-hmm. That's what I guarantee.
If you don't look past what happens afterwards, the original problem is always solved.
Yeah, I'll bring you a body.
You've tried to convince people that they did 9/11 was a solution to one.
That was a particular highlight, yes. I said poison a mother-in-law.
Poison a mother-in-law because if she's annoying you. There was the time that a guy's girlfriend smelled, so you told him to get COVID so that he wouldn't be able to smell.
Microdose it so that you maintain the loss of smell.
So, Shaun, I'm bringing it to you. My mother-in-law keeps rearranging my kitchen and then got mad when I told her to go get a hotel room. Oh, boys.
Oh, okay. So you're actually kicking your mother-in-law out of the house on this one.
It's interesting because she is 6'6", and she mentions that her husband is 5'7". So,
right.
Wife is 6'6".
Love a short king.
A short king, if you will, Shaun, right?
Bit of a short king yourself, aren't you, Conor?
No. That's so funny. But we are like very close in height, are we not?
Yeah. There's maybe half an inch. But
you're just, okay, fair enough. We're both 4'6".
All I'm saying, the wedding photos will reveal all.
I'm up to your kneecap.
You're a little gnome hat.
Oh man, I really tried. I brought my stilts. So what happened is the mother-in-law came to stay with them 2 weeks ago. Her roof needed repairs. And what happens is, right, so she mentioned also that they realised early on that it was easier for him to go around the kitchen. They've had their living arrangements done to make it as easy as possible for her. So he would go around with a step stool to reach what he needed in the kitchen, rather than her to constantly be crouching to get what she needed, because that can get painful quickly on the back.
Yeah, and it's easier to grab a step stool, grab a chair, get some help. Yeah, makes sense.
That was all fine until the mother-in-law came to stay with them. And her roof needed some repairs. They have a spare room, so they were like, absolutely, it's only logical. You come stay with us. She's constantly been moving things about in the kitchen, lowering items as she doesn't want to use the step stool, which isn't anything to do with her age or fearing that she'll fall. She just doesn't want to. She keeps harping on about how it's ridiculous everything is so high up and it's rude for guests. My husband has repeatedly shut her down, stating my comfort matters more than theoretical guests, and asked her not to move things. A short king, if you will, Shaun.
The kingest of shorts. Yeah,
the shortest of kings. She lets it go for a day, and then things are moved again. I've expressed my frustration about this, and the final straw came when I went to make myself a cup of coffee and could not find the coffee mugs anywhere. It took me 5 minutes to find them in the kitchen, and I found them all moved into a lower cabinet that I had to kneel to get them out of. I was very unhappy about this, and I gave out to her. I complained to her and I said that if she keeps rearranging my kitchen, she can go stay in a hotel room, as I've had enough of her entitlement.
Good. Set boundaries. It's your fucking house.
This led to a lot of blustering that she was just trying to make it make more sense, and how this is her son's home, and how a little reorganisation just because of a little reorganisation they shouldn't just all suffer just because I'm tall. And then she says I'm heartless, and to say how she expects me to go stay in a hotel over the holidays, right? The husband is clearly uncomfortable about this situation.
Yep, understandably. This is a lot.
I didn't want his mother upset, but he told her it wasn't just his home. It's mine too. So, Short King has come in clutch second time. He's like, look, bro, it's 50-50 here.
And he doesn't mind. He's been that height for ages. He knows how things work.
My husband is getting continuously anxious over this and upset, but he's not backing down, and I feel awful about snapping. That's led to this, that he now feels bad, and we're all in this big triangle where everyone's very unhappy. Shaun, we turn to you because this family needs help. This is a situation that we have a short king, we have a potential basketball player, I assume, and so you're like, what do we do here? The mother-in-law is in the house. She can't leave. She has no roof. How do we solve this?
You could do a long game on it, which would be wait till the roof is fixed, put a hole in your own roof, and then go stay with her. It's the exact same situation. She can't refuse, and reorganise her kitchen.
To suit you.
Moving cups up high. Moving, I don't know, the pasta into a different press.
Yeah.
And then she's like, this is really inconvenient. And you're like, haha, go fuck yourself.
Interesting. Okay.
In the shorter term, you're going to have to fuck up your back on purpose.
Throw yourself down the stairs.
No, I'm talking regularly. Reverse fix your posture. Break your posture, basically.
Break your spine.
Start to hunch, you know?
Right.
You're reaching down into cabinets. You're bumping your head as you try and get back up.
Give yourself a few concussions.
Send her the medical bills. Ruin this woman.
I want her unable to afford anything. I want her debt coming over her ears.
She has to choose between fixing her own roof or saving a life.
Yeah.
At this point.
And I think you need to start sending her photos of you in a hospital bed. Just like, if those mugs were up high, I wouldn't be here. What a coincidence.
Yeah. What? But I still don't. She sounds like a dose. So I don't know if she would even care that you were in pain.
I think you need to go the other way, Shaun. I think you need to take out the husband.
You think the husband's the weak link here?
No.
My short king.
No. He's been absolutely lovely, right? Absolutely just absolutely sound out. But the way to get to her is not through you. She doesn't give a shit about you. The way to get to her is through her son. Because she still cares about him. So you need to lower everything down, and for him to be somehow put out by things being lower.
He would benefit from things being lower. So what's the move here? How do we
give
hurt
him
your
surgery to extend his kneecaps? You know that surgery that extends your legs?
I have seen that. It seems wildly unnecessary.
You need to, like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, that kid that they stretch out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a family show, but I guess this is the only solution.
You could give him growth hormones.
Oh, that's way better than what I was going to say. Growth hormones are an actual thing that they give to people.
I knew you were going to say some bad shit stuff.
And you were like, yeah, she's the medicine that does this.
You could use some growth hormones. Feed your husband growth, or feed your mother-in-law growth hormones.
Oh, and then she's all big and strong.
You make her as tall as humanly possible for a woman, I assume, in maybe her 60s to be.
Yeah, and then she's having issues. Then the end result is just everything's back where it usually is, I guess.
Yeah, then you make her see the world from your perspective.
But, very good, Conor. Mm-hmm. But does she learn a lesson, though?
Well, you are feeding her a lot of growth hormones.
Yeah, it can't be good for a 60-year-old person to have so many growth hormones put into him.
She's gotta, I assume she'd be very ill.
I'm going to just, hang on. At what age do growth hormones stop working? Growth hormone. What age is too late for growth hormones? Apparently they can be started at any age.
There you go. She's fucking grand.
What would human growth hormone do to a 40-year-old man? Boost muscle mass.
There you go.
But this is all about...
No, we don't want her to be wide. Yes.
So, after the age of 21... your growth plates have fused, so you won't get any taller. You'll just get bigger. You'll just get stronger. So you're making a jacked 60-year-old woman who doesn't like you already. So this is a risky move.
You are making your enemy stronger. That is correct. But then, what if you make the doorways skinnier so she can't fit through?
But then she's complaining about that.
Then she starts ripping doors off the handles and stuff.
Yeah, she's damaging your house at that point.
Yeah, at that point she's just a Hulk in your home.
Look, you're 6'6". Would you not give a hand in fixing the roof? And just fucking get her out with her a bit quicker.
I get your hand on a hammer and a chisel and I get fucking over there to the house and you don't even need a ladder.
You know what I do? I'd pull myself up by me fucking bootstraps. And I'd get it done.
And you fucking saw it out. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
How hard is it to fix a hole in a roof?
Sure, if you wouldn't even need a ladder. Just stand there. Just fucking have it out with a hammer.
Change a few bulbs while you're out.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty, fucking hell. I think, although you could do the easy thing of walk up to her and pick her up by her collar and just lift her off the ground so her legs are swinging.
Yeah.
And just be like, mugs stay where they are.
Like showing a cat the top of the fridge. Just like, never seen that before.
This is what my view looks like.
Yeah.
Now, go back down.
No, I'll break my legs. I'm counting on it. You do a full Batman.
But her legs are massive now. Gigantic.
Oh yeah, because of the growth hormone, of course.
We filled her full of growth hormone. She's fucking a tank, so she is.
The other option, get into some weird stuff and put your husband on a rack, like from the medieval times. And stretch him, and she walks in on you stretching him, and it's this weird moment.
You keep building. You need to start setting some seeds that you're planning to stretch out her son.
Yeah, like he's like that. He likes the things up high in the kitchen because it gives him a tall mindset. And everything in his life at the moment is about becoming taller.
And he's really focused on like getting stretched taller by your weird machine. And he's been looking forward to this day for months.
So, and you putting those cups down, that's putting him back into short king mindset.
You can, and you're happy with a short king, but simultaneously, if the short king wants to have some sort of weird medieval machine stretch him out, then you can't disagree with that.
No, that's his choice as the short monarch that he is.
So, I mean, our solution then is what?
Look, we've given so many good options here.
Yeah, we've thrown out a few good ideas.
I like the option. In terms of which I think was the most funny that we talked about, I like just fixing the roof yourself.
You can bring your husband's little step ladder that he uses in the kitchen if you can't fully reach it.
Very useful on a job site. He's got like a Fisher Price work belt on. It's a drill. It's like a plastic drill bit.
You bring him along with you.
He's got a little lunch bag.
Do you ever see that video of like all the models? They're all like advertising like the drills and stuff. It's like some weird television ad, and one of them is like trying to drill into a tire, but like it's not even anywhere near it. You need him to get one of those fake drills, and it's like, yeah, you go over there and you do that, and I'm gonna fucking sort this out.
It's like the square peg goes in the square hole.
And when you're done there, go into the little toy kitchen and cook me some dinner, will you?
He's shuffling plastic carrots around a fake frying pan.
I mean, he's normal sized, but
he's a regular man, like.
He's a regular man, but just continuously just keep talking to him like he's 2 foot tall.
He's got an oversized high-vis jacket on.
Get him a little electric car that like drives around the house.
Oh, Christ.
So stupid. And he's just like, why are you buying me all this stuff? So I'm going to work.
Don't worry about it.
I'm fixing the roof pajamas. There now. I got you these pajamas.
There's a little arse flap on.
Oh, lads. Imagine his mother, just when you're doing all that, his mother's hating you. The hatred is rising.
But her roof is getting fixed, so she's not going to say
she can't give out. And like, he's happy enough. He's grand.
Yeah. He's using his step stool to get onto the ladder. Just... Oh, I'm crying after that. Jesus
For
Christ.
no reason. Just like, I got you a little present for your anniversary. A bike with stabilisers. He's just like, I'm a 30-year-old man. Leave me alone.
He's paying tax. He's like a doctor or something.
He's like fully just lives his life, but when he comes home, he just has everything small.
It's just, he gets a separate meal of like dino nuggets and mash.
Every day. Imagine, and then her mother-in-law is getting madder and madder, but you gotta go all in on this and be like, I am a giant.
Yeah, this is how we keep the cups in the high cabinet.
This is where we keep them. And he's got a like little plastic one that has like a little cartoon character on it. This is his one.
He has to hold it with 2 hands.
It's got 2 little handles, little sucky bit at the top. He's laughing, so he is.
He's sleeping through the night, it's great.
So he's in his high chair now, he's fucking delighted with himself, so he is. Absolutely. And the mother-in-law's just getting more and more confused. Just like so weird.
What have I wandered into?
What is this? So I think, is that a Shaun solves?
I think it's solved. Yeah. Just infantilise your husband in front of his mother.
Just absolutely rude him. Just confuse the fuck out of him.
Destroy all of that man's credibility, please.
He has to go to the hospital now tomorrow and do surgery and all, but
he's got a little stethoscope.
Cycling to work on his little bike.
It's on this basket in the front.
He's ringing his little bell when he's coming in.
He's got the like strap with the silver circle on the front.
In my head, he doesn't realise what's happening. You just keep buying him stuff, and he's like, "Oh, the fucking your tyres burst out. You may cycle to work. We only have one bike."
Yeah, but he's just the most agreeable man. She's like, "Yeah, no worries.
Just don't worry about it. Whatever you need, whatever you want." Oh man, what a legend. I love the 2 of them. The mother-in-law in the wrong. What can you do?
Yeah, you've done nothing wrong here. But the mother-in-law,
Shaun,
get rid of her.
We're going to move on because I have a new, I think, Amethyst Realm. I have a new star of the pod.
Amethyst Realm, one of our earliest studies on Weird News. Lady thought she was married to a pirate ghost.
Yeah.
Wrote a book, which we have,
yes.
about her. It's fan fiction about herself with the pirate. Who
True.
I think is Jack Sparrow.
I think is Jack Sparrow in her head, yes.
Yeah.
But people that can speak to the dead, people that woman that was married to the dead for a little bit.
Lawyers, yes.
No, Shaun, please. Well, I think maybe this one, you were always against all those ones, right? You were always kind of, if anything, a bit mean. Because I was like, obviously they are genuinely married and having sex with their ghost husbands or ghost wives. It makes the perfect sense.
No ghost would want to have sex with a human.
I'm a fairy whisperer, Shaun.
Oh, we're back on board.
If anyone doesn't know, Shaun, I'm going to say he believes in fairies, but the reality is he's afraid of fairies. That's kind of different.
Well, I'm not going to say I fully believe in him, but I'm not going to fuck with him either.
It's kind of like the people who don't believe in hell, but they also like, you don't really want to be not doing nice things just in case.
Yeah. Like you'll hedge your bets a little bit.
A self-confessed fairy whisperer who has been able to see the mythical beings since she was a child says she's also in touch with other fabled creatures, including mermaids. Shaun, Karen K, 60, from Cornwall, gets close to them with a ritual bath where she adds a handful of sand into her bathtub before placing a mermaid figurines, soaps, shells and candles around her. I'll have ocean waves playing in the background. I dim the lights, close my eyes, I drift off. Sometimes it literally feels like I've got a tail. It can feel so powerful. She's far from alone though, Shaun. She's part of the international community who believe in fairies, led by Sean Mean, and gather at fairy festivals to dress up, swap stories, and listen to alternative music.
What, like Idols or some shit? Like
Green Day.
Alright, I mean her bath time sounds quite similar to my own, I will be honest.
Yeah, of course, that's why I brought it to you, yes.
But what other than that, what evidence has she got that she's seen fairies?
Well, look, she's been able to see them since she was a little girl, Shaun, right? So fairies are connected with children who have their eyes open. They're untarnished. And ever since then, when I was just 4 or 5 years old, I've not just been a believer, it's become my life. She can see them, Shaun, around the place.
Ideally you would never see a fairy. That's what they're operating on. Sometimes a child will be taken by the fairies, but they'll be replaced with an exact copy.
Yeah.
A changeling.
I feel like you have kind of missed the trick, because this woman, I feel, might actually talk to you. And like you're like, yeah, I'm starting to see what you see. Yeah, like it's your mum. You're just like, oh, fucking let's hear her out.
Look, one day we'll be trapped by fairies and I'll know how to get out of it, and I'll leave you there destitute.
How will we get out of it?
Well, it depends how we're trapped, Connor.
Right. Okay, so there's different traps. Like there's nets, there's cages.
Well, if you're stuck in a fairy ring and you're dancing forever, you have to turn all of your clothes inside out. If you're wandering through the forest and things keep looking the same, drop any crumbs that are in your pocket and they'll leave you go.
Right, but you think Sean's making this up, but this is genuinely that time that we did a story of a lad who got caught in a forest and you were fully about take off all your clothes and put them on back to front. Yeah,
it confuses the fairies, it breaks the charm, and then you're allowed to walk out.
Do you not think that was just made up by some lad who was on a date and was like, will we take off all our clothes and put them back on though, but we'll take them off first?
Look, in some ways I'd respect that more, huh? But there's stories of like roads being diverted to go around fairy rings and fairy bushes and stuff like that. It's just better to, be cautious about these things.
She even says that she admits that she's concerned. She was even concerned that the lights might be a sign of a visual issue that she was kept seeing all around the place. So she went to the optician to have her eyes tested. Fortunately, she has 20/20 vision, they said. So she sees fairies. And she has 20/20 vision. So you can't say it's because she's blind, Shaun. So everything's lining up towards this woman knows what she's fucking talking about.
Then the optician had to go back to his pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
She had to put her clothes inside out to get out of there.
It's terrible. Anywhere she goes, she just does it. It's
She says they can shape-shift, but they're more likely to see them at liminal times, like solstices, May Day, Halloween. About 15 years ago, I was driving back from the supermarket on the 830 and saw the legs of a giant fairy. I slowed down and saw it was as big as the huge oak tree there and realised the fairy was the tree's guardian.
That's pretty big for a fairy.
That's fucking massive.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a giant. But like, here's the thing. If you can see him, just be cool about it.
What do you mean by be cool about it?
Don't go messing with him. Don't go telling people about him. Just keep it to yourself.
You're saying if you have the ability to see mythical creatures, keep it to yourself.
I'm saying don't be a fucking grass.
Right, don't be snitching on them.
Yeah. Don't oust all of the fairy folk just because you want your 15 minutes in. I'm assuming the Daily Mail has this article.
Yes.
There we go. Now look, I know they pay 200 quid a story or whatever. Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah. I do believe
she's pushing it with the mermaids.
Yeah, see, what's happened here is, right, she's got on and been like, I can see fairies. Right? And everyone's like, okay, fair enough. Go for it. And then she goes to all these festivals and everyone's like, yeah, we also all believe in fairies. Everything's going great. And then I think she's seen that she's missed a trick. Because she's like, oh, did I forget to mention that I also can see mermaids? I'm sorry that never came up in conversation, but I actually can.
Well, yeah, and mermaids is bullshit. Okay, mermaids aren't.
Okay, no, I'm not having you come in on a moral high ground. I was with her till the mermaids.
There's the fae are a weird thing to concoct.
All I'm saying is that they're either both bullshit or she can see both, Shaun, and I want you to come down on one side or the other of that argument.
Mermaids were likely a creation of scurvy-ridden sailors who were on the Horn and were miles away from any sort of land.
And fairies were
folktales about bad things that had happened with no explanation, often as a way to warn children away from strangers and such.
You're like, it all makes sense, Conor. Like, I mean, some of them were created by scurvy and the others were created by very normal, very smart people who had obvious explanations for things.
There were lads sitting around a fire distilling their own alcohol as they were wont to do.
As they were wont to do back in the day.
And talking about things that they didn't or could not understand at all.
So, Shaun, you're saying that this woman she's absolutely, like, completely true and we need to listen to her when she keeps talking to us.
No. I'm not saying listen to this woman. I'm saying do your own research. On the Fae.
On the Facebook. Is that what you're going to say?
No, on the Fae.
On the Fae on Facebook.
F-A-E, but could be does that exist? Hang on.
What, the Facebook? Facebook.
That just autocorrects to Facebook.
No.
That's what they want.
Society makes you feel like you've got to grow over this. I've got people contacting me all the time saying that they can't tell their families about their fairy beliefs, that they will get looked down upon. One of my sons is a pilot, doesn't believe in fairies, but he believes that I believe. So there you go. My other son is a bit more spiritually open. He kind of knows that other beings exist too. Well, I suppose.
I suppose there's a lot of things out there, like.
So she says, I'm a fairy queenager.
What?
She says she's calling herself the fairy queen-ager.
What does that mean, though?
Because she says, I'm in my queen age years instead of teenage years. And she says, I'm a fairy queen-ager. Queen-ager?
I mean, if you want to call... See, that you're making it all about you.
You're like, don't piss off the fucking fae. Jesus.
Like, you're not supposed to be friends with him.
You're like fully 100% like, we need to bow down to them, do not make eye contact, we have to obey everything they say, do not look at them, do not speak of them.
No.
They are better than us.
Don't mess with them, leave them alone.
Yeah.
If something is theirs, don't try and take it.
What classifies as theirs though?
Trees, bushes, nature, they're real pissed off at the minute, I'd say.
Oh, I'm stealing all those trees.
Like shit, like the fucking the banshee would be a fae. Of like,
but they're not real either, so that's the problem solved.
I'm nearly sure I've heard a banshee before.
Okay, right. Sorry.
And a week later,
let's get into this, right? So what do you mean you're fairly sure you've heard of? In what situation?
It was out the country.
Out the country, and you heard wailing.
Out the country at night time, heard a big scream. Sounds bad. There was no humans around at the time.
Are we not entirely sure that maybe, perhaps somebody was being murdered?
No, there's not been a murder around those parts
since 1952.
It is interesting as to where that would have originated from. Like, well, we heard a big scream and someone's died.
Oh, it must have been the banshee. Like, some lad covered in blood with like a big fucking knife, like, oh lad, I fought off the banshee there, I cut him a few times, that's where all the blood's after coming from, but yeah, no, she's dead. She's dead, so she is. Oh look, banshee.
It's an awful tragedy.
Oh, who could have seen this coming? Anyway, sure, look, we'll all go back to our houses anyway. Look, be safe.
With we should do like a Hero or Zero style report on just Irish mythological figures at some point. And
they're all real. I just assume they're all stories to cover up people who were definitely doing crimes. And
well,
you've got like
the Far Goethe, who has an appearance of a hungry man.
Some lad was just starving. Okay.
And would set upon travellers looking for food.
So just a homeless person, just somebody who's hungry.
Yeah, it's pretty much. What else do we have here? The Dúlacan, that's just a headless horseman. Could have just been a man carrying a pumpkin one time.
Could be, absolutely.
What else is here? The Selkie. The idea that it's a seal who takes off their coat and is a beautiful woman, and if you own their coat, then you own the woman, I think. And then she can't return to the water until she has her coat back on and turns back into a seal. I think
that's mostly about beating your wife and just like owning her.
Not at all. Connor. Come on now.
I think that might be just lads in the fucking back in the day that were like, well look, I now own you. You're a fucking... I have your coat.
And then like a Mero, which is just a mermaid, but it's fucked. It's evil.
Oh, and evil. I assume all mermaids are evil.
Nah, some of them are. Depending on the lore, some of them are meant to be nice and charming and
you said that you thought that they were all evil because they were women. That's what you said to me off mic.
No, some of my favourite mermaids are women.
Some of them, true, dickheads, but some of them are my favourites.
Yeah, and the lads, I love all the mermaid lads.
I think you went to a different boat. I think you had a different scurvy.
A different scurvy.
That's the thing that we should diagnose you with in your brain. Of Shaun just has scurvy, but like a different version of scurvy that you probably don't really know much about.
Yeah, there's a whole spectrum of scurvy that I have.
Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Weird News.
Oh, we're ending it there. Okay.
Absolutely ending it there. Shaun has weird scurvy.
Would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of the show. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Everyone who supports us over there is an absolute legend. They help us to keep making the show. They help us to keep ads off the show, and we really appreciate them. You do get a shout out, of course, for being a patron. So big thank you to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast, Evanson, Saint Waffles, patron saint of the podcast, the ghost of Christmas past, present and future, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna looks forward to the next Irish animal story, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine are your number one Castbox fans, Russ I paid to see Kraven and survived, bring on the next Sony fumble, Project Parfitt, Jackson Brueheim will be attending Sean's upcoming gum eating intervention, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tips, subscribe to the Patreon. Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Shaun is cool and a genius. After that conversation, I'm really not sure. Rory, Pete is going to see Kraven and doesn't care what you think. Jack Markham, Barrel of Cheese, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard the Texas Ironman, Donegal George, Leica's number one fan, and Justin Bowman. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Heading over there if you want to support the show. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @HeroesForHirePod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Diddleman's Discussion Group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Me.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.